Hi, this is Dana Martin, and welcome to my Worship Keys video. Today we're going to be talking about what to play during extended times of worship. And what I'm talking about is times during the worship service, perhaps right after a particular song has been sung, and it might lend itself into an extended time of worship where the people want to worship audibly. What do you play during that time? Do you continue to play the song you were just playing, or do you play something else? Well, I propose that you play something else. The chord progressions during a song do not lend themselves to singing in the Spirit, allowing the people to just sing worship to the Lord. Most of the time, they will sing kind of a monotone. They won't be singing different chord progressions. So if you're trying to play different chord progressions, it will clash with what they're trying to do, and many times they'll just give up because they know it's not sounding right. But so that you can help them to be able to do that on a deeper level, here's what I propose. Whatever key you just finished playing this song in, continue on the one chord, and there's a couple of different scenarios that I'm going to give you today. And one is to play the one chord and then follow that with the four chord with keeping the one in the bass. What I mean by that is if you're in the key of D, D is your one chord and G is your four chord, keep the D in the bass. And you want to rotate every 4 beats. Usually that's your time signature. That's the most common time signature. So you'll want to rotate your 4 beats, D on 4 beats, and then D over G for 4 beats. Let me play that and show you what I mean. What I'm doing is I'm just playing quarter notes. I'm playing the chords, but I'm adding the 2. What I mean by that is for a D chord, I'm adding the E. It has an E in it. D, E, F sharp, and the A. And for my G chord, to add the 2 to that, it has an A in it. So you heard me do that a few times. So D, 2. Other thing that I'm doing is just playing arpeggios of that chord, notes that are in that chord, including the 2, just in a rhythmic way, rather than just keeping straight chords. It gives us a little bit of a melody to play with. You can also borrow melody from the song you just played. If there's a song that you just finished playing, borrow some of that melody. If you can't think of what to play for fills, trying to think of a song that's in D, perhaps Amazing Love. Melody, not very much of it, but just enough to give you some ideas of some fills to play. Now you want to also take turns with the other instruments playing the fills. If you have other instruments such as wind or brass instruments, a flute or saxophone or trumpet or lead guitar or an organist, maybe another keyboardist, you want to give them a chance to play some of the fills too. So allow them, this is a good time for them to kind of play around and jam a little bit and get into a groove. And you can even work on this during rehearsal. You know, if there's a certain song that you know that you're doing that day that lends itself to an extended time of worship, or maybe the Holy Spirit has told you, you know, I want you to pause after this song so that the people can worship. Then you can talk about this in rehearsal. You know, today I want us to just ride on that D chord or whatever key you're in. I just want you to ride on that chord and tell your other instruments, guitarist, I want you to just give me some fills for about 8 measures. And then saxophonist, I want you to give me some fills for about 8 measures. And then the flute player, tell that person, whoever else you have. And then you can just take turns in a rotation like that. Bring the dynamics up and really build it up. Bring the dynamics back down. Have your drummer work with you on this, and the bass player as well. Now I want to show you another scenario that you might play if you don't want to just keep on the one in the bass. It sounds really good to do a 1 chord and 4/5. So if you're in the key of D, the 1 would be D, and the 4 would be G, and over 5, the 5 would be the A in the bass. Okay? So I'm going to do the same rhythm pattern, 4 beats on the 1 chord, and then 4 beats with 4/5. So 4 beats on D chord, 4 beats on G over A. It can give you just a little bit more room to play around. Make sure you tell your bass player what you're going to be playing in the bass so he can do the exact same thing that you're doing. And everything will flow together and sound really, really good. And again, make sure you use dynamics. You keep it down on a lower volume, and then you build it back up again, and then you bring it back down. Just let it be an ebb and flow. As the worship service itself flows like that, you ebb and flow with that. And let me know how it turns out. If you try that, be sure and write me on my Facebook page, or send me an email. You can contact me through my webpage, pianodana.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear if you've used this and how it's worked for you, or if you have any questions. I'd love to work with you. So be sure and contact me, pianodana.com. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you for watching today.